What's up, everybody? It's your girl Shay back again with another review for y'all, and it is on the 6th and final episode of Mr. McMahon. So, episode 6 starts out with talking about Chris Benoit. If you don't know what happened or whatever, look it up or watch episode 6. I'm not really going to get into that, but because of what had happened with Chris Benoit, they changed different techniques about getting hit in the head and stuff. That's why wrestlers stopped hitting each other in the head with steel chairs, and they hit each other on the back instead. So, yep, if you want to know any more, look it up. They were also talking about wrestlers and how they were dying young, and whenever Vince would go on interviews and the interviewer would talk about it, they were basically stating that it was Vince's fault that they were all dying, and he got defensive quite a few times about the subject, which is understandable, but he didn't have anything to do with that, I don't think. I mean, the wrestlers, that's their job. Vince McMahon has nothing to do with what they do outside of their lives. So that was another part in episode 6. They also talked about WrestleMania 30, where The Undertaker lost his streak. The streak was supposed to go on, but at the last minute, Vince decided to put Brock over, and Brock broke the streak of The Undertaker, and I thought that was BS. I don't care if y'all are Brock Lesnar fans or whatnot. I do not like him, and I'm happy that Roman Reigns beat him all those times. Just saying, I'm a Roman fan. Episode 6 also touched on why WWE went PG. It was mostly for advertising. The stuff that they were doing wasn't going to cut it. All the lewd and sexual things that they were doing back then, it wasn't going to cut it with advertising. And that's bread and butter right there. For businesses, advertising, that's where you get the most money. When I think about the PG era, it always reminds me of that one segment with R-Truth. He's like, I don't even know if that's PG. Sorry. During the PG era, that's when the women's division just boomed. The women's evolution that's when it all started. And then it wasn't no longer divas. They became WWE superstars as well, as just like the men. Yeah, I don't know. Well, you do know because I've been saying it through all these reviews. I am so happy that the women's division is the way it is now. They were also talking about the secession of WWE, would it go to Shane or Stephanie, and a lot of things were looking like Stephanie and Triple H was gonna succeed Vince McMahon if he ever retired. So the interviewer asks a lot of WWE superstars what it would take in order for Vince to retire, and Booker T says a nuclear bomb exploding. And that's what happened. In June 2022, Vince McMahon stepped down as CEO and chairman of the WWE, and because it was said that he paid $3 million in hush money to a woman. Not a good look, Vince. Not a good look. Once that report came out, it was bad. a lot of other women came out saying that Vince McMahon agreed to pay them hush money in the last 16 years. Oh my God, can I believe it? I can believe it now. I mean, how far off was the Vince McMahon character from the real Vince McMahon? That's what we gotta really think about, you know? And then it happens, guys. Vince McMahon actually retires. I remember that day, I was like, what the hell's going on? Because ever since I watched it and my father and mother watched it, it was always Vince McMahon in charge of everything. So that was kind of a culture kind of shock thing, especially to the fans that have been watching it from like 2000 and more, like the 80s and 90s and stuff. That was so crazy. And then Vince McMahon comes back? What? Huh? What? Then Stephanie leaves the company. She resigns as co-CEO once her father comes back, which was kind of weird now that I think about it. Then Mr. McMahon sells WWE to Endeavor, and then Endeavor puts WWE and UFC combined together. So, yeah, that's where we are now. The last part of episode 6 was about the Janelle Grant lawsuit against Vince McMahon of sexual assault, abuse, and trafficking, in which she claimed that he made her do things for another wrestler so he can get his contract renewed, and they were speculating that it might have been but Brock Lesnar. I don't know, guys. The Janelle Grant lawsuit really put the icing on top of the cake for Vince. So that was the end of episode 6. He is retired. He sold all his shares of TKO. And yeah, that is my review of episode 6 of Mr. McMahon. Would I watch it again? No. As a fan for 24 years, I knew pretty much everything that was in this documentary except for the lawsuit things. A lot of them I didn't know happened. And that's crazy because he had a lot of lawsuit about like sexual misconduct and all that stuff again with women, which was, did it catch me by surprise? I wanted to say it caught me by surprise, but it didn't. I have nothing else to say. A 10 out of, what is it? On a scale from 1 to 10, I'd give it a 5 because I knew pretty much almost everything. But if you are a new WWE fan, this is a great documentary to watch if you want to know the good, the bad, and the ugly about Vince McMahon. Anyway, thank you. I know this one was really long. Anywho, see you later. Bye.